We're now at one of the student accommodation properties, and one of the really important things to do when you've got an investment property is to do an exit as well as an entrance inspection. This time around, the tenant has just recently vacated, and we're going to do an exit inspection just to make sure that all the things that were maybe broken, we identify them and fix it, and we get the place ready for the next tenant. So come on with me and let's see what needs to be fixed. Now, one of the really important things to do when you're doing a home inspection is to look at every single facet of what could possibly go wrong. So one of the first things I always do is check whether the light bulbs are working, and these ones clearly aren't. And it's something that's very easy to miss. You also want to get a sense of how good the walls are doing. So I can already notice a few patches on this one, so might need to just do a bit of paint. And always make sure that you're checking essentially every aspect of a room as you walk in. You can already see here there are a bit of cracks, so we'll need to patch that one up. And maybe even the body corporate could get involved, because I can see it's from all the way up there. And you really want to get a sense of all the things that are possibly wrong with the place so that you can fix it. So already there you can see some of the paint that needs to be done. And something that's very easy to miss is of course the actual furniture, because a few hinges might go off, and you want to make sure that you fix that just in time before the next tenant moves in. You want to be inspecting things like your actual cupboards, because very easily things like this typically tend to go off. And so when you're satisfied that everything is actually fine, then you make a list of all the things that need to be fixed to make sure that the property is ready for the next tenant. So we're now in the second bedroom in the property, and what I've noticed is that everything is in really good condition except one thing. Now, as you can see here, there's a bit of a leak coming in from the roof, and had my tenant actually let me in early, I would have been able to fix it as they saw it. And I think more than anything, it's a tip for both tenants and landlord that in the event that there's something wrong with the apartment, as a tenant, alert your landlord as soon as possible. And as a landlord, make sure that it's dealt with quickly, because I think I can imagine living in a place that has a leak isn't particularly pleasant. But what this also means is that if you let something that's damaged stay for too long, it might cost you a lot. So I think both parties need to understand what their responsibilities are when it comes to damages. So something like a leak would literally be a landlord's responsibility because it's a structural damage. But then something else, let's say the tenant breaks something, they'd have to fix it. So understanding what each party has to do is quite important. But something that's also important for both sides is to know that in the event where your tenant doesn't break something and doesn't let you know about it, they're essentially compromising their deposit money. And as a landlord, if your place is left in a really good condition, nothing is broken, you've done your exit inspection, you need to give your tenant their deposit with the interest back. So both sides understanding what they're responsible for in a rental property is really important. And I think now more than anything, I need to make sure that this is fixed so that the next tenant doesn't have to deal with it at all. I'm finally done inspecting the two bedrooms upstairs, and I must say I'm very happy with the paint job. We've also fixed the skylight, and now this apartment is officially ready for new tenants. Get to builders, get it done.